coming at you short and sweet again today for a Shaun short episode on the Always Another Game podcast. Hello, everybody. It's Shaun, the behavior change coach here again. And today we're going to go deep inside my mind to share some stories, actually today a little bit about the podcast, as well as my past playing career and how I utilize those learned skills, those highs and lows in life away from the game. And today I want to talk about who is in your corner. Now, one topic that has come up an awful lot from the athletes in this show is the influence of coaches, senseis, parents. And they've pretty much all of the athletes have mentioned that somebody at some point has inspired them. And when I look back over my playing career, I had great coaches, I had good coaches, I had okay coaches, I had terrible coaches. But one thing I've learned now after playing is there was a lesson to be learned from all of them. And that could have been their coaching style, the belief that they had in me, communication. And one of the big values of the podcast is transferable skills. And I've mentioned a number of times on this show, I always wanted to coach a sports team before I finished playing, or coached an ice hockey team, and it never happened. Yet I am coaching now. I am coaching human beings in behavior change, which correlates over to performance in life. I recently started coaching my eldest football team. What an experience that is so far, because I'm taking in my coaching and sport expertise and having to blend that in with parenting and balancing the difference between parenting my eldest and supporting him as a coach, which is extremely difficult. But it's a new phase, and I've been able to be put in this position because of all the coaches and all the experience I've had, and been able to see what has worked, what hasn't worked. And I can implement it and help these young players, these aspiring young players, not just become, great footballers, but as my assistant coach and I in the team, we always say we want to create great humans. And the first thing I wanted to kind of get through this episode is a lot of people seek out coaches. Now, if there's a parent listening, you might have a kid playing sport. I've got a business person listening. You might be looking for a business coach, or a behavior change coach, a mindset coach, a life coach. There's so many different coaching elements out there. What you need to understand is, as a coach, I'm not for everybody. I know I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. It used to get to me quite a lot, but at the moment, I know who wants to use me, and when they do, I know what they can achieve. But not everybody may like my style or what I do, and there will be somebody out there that is for them. And you need to recognize that just because you're on a team that you don't like the coach, it's not working for you, you're not enjoying the sport anymore, you don't have to stay. If you've got a kid playing grassroots football and you don't like how your child is being coached to align with your values, maybe you do want your kid just to be a great human and enjoy sport, and you're not fussed about winning, but the coach is very much driven by winning, it's okay to move. If you are worried about starting with a business coach, a behavior change coach, a life coach, and you're worried about whether it will work for you, have a chat with them. Most coaches offer a free strategy call, planning call, whatever it is. Have a chat, get a feel for it. Maybe ask them, say, hey, can I pay for one session? And if it is for me, then we go ahead. Some will say yes, some will say no. But if you don't ask, you'll never get. But what I want to express deeply is that there is somebody or someone out there for you that can help you or your child thrive, that has your best interest at heart, and not for sole reasons of just being there to win. It's very difficult. A lot of us are driven to win, and it is a big part of life, right? Life is tough. We've got to have a bit of resilience about us from a young age all the way through to adulthood. Yet it's not the only thing. Winning's great. It feels good. Losing doesn't feel great. I don't know many people that enjoy losing in anything, whether it's Monopoly or a proper, professional game of sport. I don't know anybody that goes, yay, I lost. I love this feeling. So winning is part of it, but it shouldn't be the sole end result. Okay. So, within my playing career, I've shared a story before on a coaching episode where there was one season where I was the only player in my age group to be playing the top level ice hockey. And at that year, I wasn't selected to play for my age group, Great Britain under 18s. I wasn't selected. Now, I look back now, and as it was expressed to me after the selection, I didn't have the best attitude at the time. I didn't work the hardest at that time. Yet I was selected for GB under 20s. And there was often coaches throughout my career that saw something in me that maybe other coaches didn't see. I wasn't the best trait. Like, I worked hard, but I may not, look the best in testing. I wasn't a quick runner, didn't always have the best endurance. It did on occasions, chin-ups I found hard. But when it came to playing the game, there was just this different animal in me that I could perform on a game day when it mattered the most. I could find something that maybe I couldn't find in a testing scenario. Bleep tests, I did okay at them because I used to practice them, but I was not built to run longer distances. Sprints, again, I wasn't the worst, but I was far from being the best. But there was coaches that saw something in me. And when somebody believes in you, you're going to want to give more as well. So if you ever come across a coach that believes in you or believes in your kid when they're playing sport and believes that they can progress and be better, trust that person. Because I still remember one saying from my under 11s coach. So I would have been 9, 10 years old. And I still remember one talk we had in the final. Whether people agree with what he said or not, it's irrelevant. I still remember it, and it made an awful lot of sense. It made an awful lot of sense at the time, and it still makes an awful lot of sense now. And what he said to us, he said, that puck is your gold medal. Every time one of the other kids takes that puck off you, they're taking away your gold medal. Now, again, some people, I said, may disagree with the mindset of it. It worked for us. It still works for me today. I've got to go and earn and work and want to be the best version of myself. And I still remember that from being 9, 10 years old. So when you're taking your kids to sport, again, this is a little bit more of a parenting episode because this is what I'm kind of deeply involved in now, is sport as a parent, and it's very fascinating. But when you go, have a look at the ethos. Has the coach expressed what the values are of the team, the ethos are of the team? And if they have, are they replicating that in training and how they're coaching? And don't be afraid to open conversation as well. Conversations don't have to be rude. They can be constructive. I'm always open to feedback if it's not rude. If somebody's being rude, I don't want to know. But feedback doesn't have to be rude. So have a look today. If you're considering working with anybody, a PT, going to a certain type of fitness class, looking at a sport for your child, is the coach just there to pick up a paycheck? Do they want to be there? Do they have a passion? Because they can form the foundation of enjoyment of sport, wanting to be there, that allows you to then work on teamwork and socializing. There is so much to sport, as many athletes and many people listening will know. It isn't just about scoring goals or winning. There is so much more to it in community, your network. That it's just a fascinating thing to be involved in. And who you have as your inspiration, as your influence, can affect whether you go long term in this or it's something you fall out of love with very quickly. So you're not going to agree with everything that a coach potentially is doing, because we're all different people and we all have different mindsets. But as long as you can see potentially why they're using it and how it is going to help, because, being tough sometimes as a coach is a very hard thing to do, but it is part of what you have to do to get success. It can't be, life isn't easy. I think many people know that. It's very challenging. So have a look today when you're looking for a coach. Look, resonate, see who you resonate with. If you know that somebody hasn't been doing your best for the kid, feel free to have a conversation with them, see if you can fix the problem. If not, then you can look elsewhere to see where there is a coach that maybe is going to help them excel. So I'm going to leave this with you, but I want you to think deeply about this today, about who is actually in your corner, who is actually wanting the best for you, wanting the best for your children, and don't let those people go. All right. Thank you for everybody that tuning in. If you've taken anything away from this, please share the episode with somebody that may need to hear this. If you haven't already, I would love a review on any of the platforms. It means a lot to me and it helps the podcast grow and reach more people. And for doing that, I will be forever in your debt. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, there is always another game.